Hello, Keith Rucker at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, we're going to do a quick video today on making a lead hammer, and these are very handy if you've never used them before around the shop. If it's kind of a dead blow type hammer, it's a hammer that you can, work on something without worrying about beating it up. So the lead is soft, it's going to give before your metal's going to give. So if you're working on the milling machine and need to tap something in place or whatever, these lead hammers are great. And I have got a mold on the making these. I've been meaning to make a new one for a while. This is one I've had for a while, and it's actually still in decent shape. I'm not going to redo this one, but I do have a brand new handle here, and I have a mold here to make a 5-pound lead hammer, and I'm going to go through how to do that. So let's get in here and do it. So guys, I've already got started over here on my propane burner some metal. We're melting it down. And honestly, what I'm using here, this is a combination of lead and babbitt. Now, babbitt is a bearing material. It has lead in it. It's an alloy. And I've used that because I actually had some that I had melted out of some old machines that I had poured new bearings on, and I just want to use it up. And while it's not 100% lead, it's got a lot of lead in it, at least this babbitt here does. And I've added some just straight lead to this so that it's become more of a lead type material than a babbitt bearing material. But this is what we're going to be using. I've got it, like I said, heating up. It's good and hot. It's pretty much ready to pour right now, but we need to get our hammer prepped. So again, this is a handle, and you can order these brand new off of McMaster Car or places like that. You can find old hammers and melt the lead off of them and use them. But this is the important part. You need this hammer mold. And these are still made. You can still order these brand spanking new, or you can find them. This is one this is an older one. I don't know how old it is, but it's one that I had found at a swap meet or something someplace. I've got a couple of different sizes of this. This is a 5-pound mold right here. But the mold just basically opens up. The handle fits in this groove. You close it back down, and you got a little C-clamp here that kind of clamps everything in place. You want to, I like to line up the seam here of the handle to the casting on the mold so that they line up. Everything's aligned good and tight. And if you look, the mold comes with a little basin here to melt your lead in. Once you get it melted, you just tilt it back up. There's a hole here, there's a vent here. It fills the mold up with the material, and all is good to go. So guys, now that I'm all safetied up here, I took a few minutes and we kind of put some babbitt material or babbitt-right material all around this piece here just to kind of help keep it in there. This is a babbitt-right. It's a kind of a Play-Doh type material. And I just tried to fill up any little small cracks in there to hopefully dam this material in there and keep it from coming out. Now I'm going to get my ladle of hot metal here, and on this metal table, if I spill a little bit, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to transfer the molten metal from one ladle to the next. There we go. And now we're just going to tilt the hammer forward and hopefully fill up the cavity here. There's a little weep hole on the side over there, and when it gets full, you'll see the babbitt start coming out of that weep hole right there. And I'm just going to kind of hold it up there for a second, let things cool down and solidify. I want to hold it up there and keep some hot metal in that hole because it will form a little cavity in there as the metal shrinks, and we want to try to keep it full. And that's probably good. I'm just going to set it down now, and we're going to let this cool for a few minutes. So while that first hammer is cooling down, I've got a second hammer. This is a 3-pound mold, and I got a slightly different hammer handle that goes in it, but it's the exact same process. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can pour a second one while we're at it. Let me go ahead and fill this reservoir up. Okay. And this one doesn't have a clamp on it like the first one, so I'm using a set of vice grips here, but we'll go ahead, it's the exact same process. There we go. So So we'll let that solidify for a minute. And we'll let that one cool. So this one should be cooled down, so we'll go ahead and knock her out. And there we go, one Babbitt/lead hammer. We'll let the other one cool down just a minute more, and then we'll knock that one out as well. And now let's knock out this one. There we go. I got a little bit of molding around that one, but we'll take that out. And there's a nice little 3-pound hammer. So there you go, guys. 2 nice new lead hammers, 5-pound, 3-pound. Got 2 different hammer molds that we do this. You can still get these hammer molds. You can buy them brand spanking new, or you can search around at swap meets, flea markets, etc. You can find them on eBay. I think I picked up at least one of those off of eBay years ago. So anyway, they're out there, guys, and these make a handy little hammer for use in the shop for that, where you want to be able to beat on something, not worry about beating it up. Very handy tool to have in the shop. So as to why you would really want to have your own hammer molds, not to just get that first hammer. You want to be able to replace your hammers over time. So, yeah, we got 2 nice brand new hammers now, but as we use these are designed so that, they're going to mushroom out, they're going to deform, etc. And over time, your lead hammer is going to end up looking like this one here. This is one that I picked up somewhere along the line. And unfortunately, I don't have a mold to recast this particular handle. I wish that I did. But you can see this is a well-used lead hammer. And if I had the right mold for this, you just melt this thing off, re-pour it, and you freshen your hammers up. So that's why it'd be wise to invest in your own hammer mold if you're interested in having a lead hammer in your shop. And the handles themselves, you can find old hammers, again, swap meets, eBay, whatever. And if you can find them that fit your molds, these are relatively inexpensive. You can buy the ones like this right here with the plastic handles. You can buy these brand new right off of McMaster-Carr. I'm sure other sites have them as well. That's where I got mine, was McMaster-Carr. So real easy to make new ones, real easy to refresh it when it's done. That's the whole concept of having your own, is so that you can do just exactly that. So there you go, quick video on how to make a lead hammer, at least the method that I use in my shop. Go make you one. Get you the equipment to do it, and it's worth having around. These things are really handy. So with that, that's gonna be a wrap. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Leave me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Please leave comments, etc. And we'll catch you next time around. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.